Man, I want to take y'all back to the wildest angles I ever seen as a wrestling fan. WWF 1991, 92 was probably one of my favorite years, man. This was around the time after things took up another notch when Flair left for the WWF. So much shit was going on. Hogan had the firebomb thrown at him. You had the Undertaker locking the Ultimate Warrior in caskets. And you had this incident here. Jake the Snake 1991 heel run, man. It was so crazy. And it didn't even start off that way, bro. He started off as a babyface. Like, I remember when Earthquake crushed his snake. And I think that's what set the chord. And somewhere down the way, he turned heel. I don't remember the exact reason, but he started beefing with Savage. He started taunting his wife. And everybody could relate to this story. Because one thing I miss about storylines today, I miss when they were relatable, man. And Jake would take it another step further every single week. Savage was the obsessed guy that wanted to protect his wife. Jake was the madman that was antagonizing her. And he had the Undertaker as the backup to do it. This whole thing was wild. They were doing things that wasn't even seen at that time. First thing was when he slapped Elizabeth. I was like, yo, this is probably the first time I ever seen a woman get slapped at WWF. Because in WCW, women were getting slapped all the time. Baby Doll was getting slapped up all the time by Tully Blanchard. But here, it resonated different. It resonated different in a way. You felt that connection. And Jake got nuclear heat. But this incident here, the heat was certified, man. Like, he taunted Savage. They tried to reinstate Savage to wrestle again. So what he did, he was taunting Savage to come to the ring. He belittled him. He berated him. He hit below the belt on his manhood. And he attacked Savage, tied him on the rope. Then he brought the snake out, and the snake bit him. I didn't think they was going to take it that far. I was like, yo, this is crazy. And I'm glad they divinamized it because it would have killed him. The snake was real. I used to think the snake was fake. But they confirmed it, I think about years later after that the snake was real. And Savage, they wanted to divinamize it. But the crowd kids was crying. Vince McMahon ran out there. Roddy Piper ran out there. Tried to save him. Then I remember when Savage fell off he was hallucinating. He fell off the stretcher and the kids just started crying. That shit was traumatizing. And then they had the dope visual of the end where Jake was in the ring laughing with the snake. One thing about Vince McMahon is that he knew how to make good content at the time. We call it content now, but he knew how to make angles to make them stand out. And the WWF at that time was some wild shit. I remember even with the Undertaker and the Berserker, where the Berserker was going to stick the Undertaker in the heart with a sword, and the Undertaker moved, and they just left the sword right there in the ring, and they just kept that still shot. That was genius, man. We need stuff like that, but considering how society is moving today, they don't want to push that line. But they weren't afraid to touch that line because we were going into a darker era in the 90s. So they did a good job of keeping up with that time period. This was one of my favorite angles. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Peace.